Everyone wants money. Everyone is chasing after that dollar. Everybody's going, everybody's working 9 to 5, others are working 24/7, and a lot of us are going after that next paycheck. And this is what we need to know. First of all, we have to know how money works, right? We're not gonna be making more money. The people that make more money are the people who make money are the people who work at the mint. What we do is we create money. And Robert Kiyosaki says the rich create money. That's how they do it. And you want to know how you can create money. There's some ways that you can create money is by investing in businesses, real estate, assets, equity, cash flow. Those are the ways that you can make money. That's how you create money. That's how you create wealth. And one easy way or a path that I've known, that I know a lot of people have done, it's real estate. A lot of people have built their wealth through real estate. And the way they do it is they first buy their first house. I've talked about how to buy your first house, how you save a little bit, you get your down payment 3.5%, 3% to buy your first house. The bank finances 80%, 97%, 95% of the price of the property. You buy that first house, then you live there for a little bit, 6 months to a year. Then you go ahead and buy your second home and you rent out the property that you already have. You say your mortgage is $2,000, hopefully you're renting it for $22,000, $25,000, you're making a little bit of money, but now you're buying another property, okay? Let's say the first house was worth $300,000. Now you're buying another home with 5% down because you are moving into that property and it's worth $400,000. You're buying a house with $20,000. You are buying a $400,000 home with $20,000 down payment, 5% down. You have the other one rented out, which is worth $300,000, hopefully more because you've lived there for a little bit. Now you have $700,000 worth of real estate, okay? Somebody else is paying down your mortgage in the other property. Then 6 months to a year later, you go ahead and buy another property, a little bigger than the previous one. Let's say $500,000. You put in 5% down because you're moving into that property. Then you have 300 plus 400 plus 500, that's $1.2 million in real estate. And all it took was, let's say you put 5% down in your first property, property was 500, that's 15,000 plus 20,000 plus $25,000. That is 20, 35, $60,000. With $60,000, you will have $1.2 million in real estate. That's a great deal. That's a great deal. As you're not doing, you are putting the minimum down payment, 5% down for all these houses. The bank is financing 95% of it. So you have $1.2 million in real estate while the bank is financing basically 95% of that. And that is an awesome deal. You might be wondering, well, David, you can't get $25,000 saved. It's like, it's very hard to save money, especially if you're making minimum wage, but you have to have money habits. People are working really hard to pursue that paycheck, pursue that money, to try to make the next, chasing money. Everybody wants money. So you have to start thinking different. You have to start thinking, how can I make more money? How can I create money? This is one path that people have done it through real estate. Real estate is a great path that people have built wealth. I personally know people who have become multimillionaires because they have invested in real estate. So you have to sacrifice. Well, perhaps you don't buy your second home in 6 months. Perhaps you buy your second home in a year and a half later because you were able to save a little. You didn't save as much as you wanted. Or what you can do is you buy your first house, you rent out your other rooms, you're what is called house hacking. You have your other properties are rented, your other rooms are rented. You have one, and then your mortgage is getting paid. Somebody else, these people are paying your mortgage. Well, the money you are going to use to pay the mortgage, you are saving it. The problem with a lot of people is that we get extra money and we find ways to spend it. I talked about motivation the other day. We hit a ceiling. People have, if the ceiling is the standard is to only have saved $10,000, they can't break the ceiling. Something has to change in their brain. Something has to click. So if you want to build wealth, if that's your goal, you have to make some sacrifices. Something has to happen in your mind. You have to say, you know what? I cannot afford to be a brokey anymore. I cannot afford to be living paycheck to paycheck, and you will have to make some sacrifices. And those sacrifices might look like having some roommates. And if you have not bought your first house yet, maybe it's gonna moving back to your parents for a little bit, for 6 months to a year, while you save that money. You make that sacrifice. It doesn't look good in front of your peers because everybody's gonna be like, oh, are you broke? It's like, yeah, I'm actually broke. This is my goal. This is where I'm trying to get. We live in a society that everybody's trying to one up you. You have a car, you buy a car, one of your friends is gonna try to buy a better car than yours, or you buy a car, your friend is gonna try to one up you, and you guys are going out to bars. You buy the first round, the other person buys the 2 rounds, and you see some hot girls. Your friend buys them a drink. Then now you're trying to be like, okay, well, let me buy them a drink because I want them to see me in a certain way. It's like, you're not gonna build wealth if that's your mentality. It's fine if you're hanging out with your friend and you want to buy him a drink or whatever, but you cannot be going to clubs or bars and getting bottle services when you don't own a home yet, okay? When you're not financially free. If you want financial freedom, you have to make some sacrifices. Nobody talks about financial freedom. Everybody chases money. Everybody is talking about how to make money, but when it comes to doing it, this is what the sacrifices you have to make. Look, I'm a successful real estate mogul. I'm a real estate investor. I own multiple properties. I still have roommates. And if, let's say, a woman or a girl is going to see that and be like, oh, this guy is broke, it's like, perfect. I do not want to be attracting that type of women. If she's going to think, just because I have roommates, I'm brokey, then she's stupid. That's fine. Let them think. If your friends think, because you're moving back to living with your parents, they think you are broke or stupid, let them. You need to find better friends that will support your goals, friends that will help you achieve your financial freedom, your goals, whatever goal it is. If we're talking about creating wealth, you don't want people that will tear you down. There's this old saying, the crabs. There's a bottle of, there was this guy who went fishing. They were crab fishing, and his friend asked the fisherman, he's like, hey, why do you put a lid on top of these on these crabs? And he said, I don't need to, because every time one tries to get out of the bucket, the rest pull them down. And that's exactly how a lot of our friends are. You are hanging out with those type of people who are smoking pot, drinking, not doing anything, not pursuing greatness, not trying to create financial freedom, create wealth. All they do is talk about their next hit, the next ass they're gonna get, or the next dopamine hit. If you want to achieve greatness and you want to create wealth, you have to make sacrifices that look stupid to other people, but it makes sense to you. Now, if you are if you have $2 million, over $1 million in real estate, and you're like, you know what? I could be saving more money, but at the same time, I want to live a little. That's when you get to live a little. You cannot, if you are in your early 20s and you don't own a home, and you're living paycheck to paycheck or barely saving any money, You cannot afford to take a trip to go to freaking Puerto Rico, to go anywhere out of the country, or take these luxurious vacations. You cannot afford them because you are not where you are supposed to be. Your goals are more important than dopamine hit. You do not want to be 65 years old, living paycheck to paycheck, and not have financial freedom. That's the saddest thing ever. I was hanging out with some friends the other day. We met this guy, older guy, a little bit out of shape. We were doing a book club, and he says, "Oh, you just gotta pursue what you love. You just gotta do what you love." And we're like, he asked me, "What do you love?" And I'm like, "Well, I love money." He said, No. What do you love?" I was like, "Well, I like fitness. I like staying in shape." He said, "You should go into fitness." I'm like, for me, that's not gonna take me to where I want to get. That's not gonna get me to that's not the fast lane. That's not the fast lane I want to get. That's sidewalk. I don't want to be on the sidewalk. I want to be in the fast lane. I want to be in the Formula One car to get to the goal. So, and then he started giving advice to my friend, and then he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna refinance my house, pull out the equity," which is great. I agree. You gotta leverage, and I'm gonna invest in AI. I'm like, well, I hope he knows about AI. He better be very knowledgeable about AI if he's gonna use leverage to invest in something. Invest in what you know. If you think that creating your own business is gonna take you to financial freedom, and then make sacrifices and go all in, okay? Especially do it when you're young. Do it. Jump all in. Jump with both feet. Don't sit there and wait until you're 70 or 65 and you have had an average life, and you say, "Yeah, I don't know, I guess I should do this, I should use leverage to pursue this." It's like, okay, why haven't you done it? Look, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail a lot of times, but once you are going to hit the goal, and once you get the win, it's gonna be a snowball effect. But you have to make sacrifices, small sacrifices. You like to collect shoes? Well, listen, maybe you want to sell you those shoes. Maybe you want to put them on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe you want to sell things that you don't need. Sacrifices. If you want to get financial freedom, you have to make sacrifices. Look, like I said earlier, I know people who have done it through real estate. I'm in the path of creating financial freedom through real estate. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. And I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, some of the stuff don't look sexy, because if you are, listen, I'm a guy. I know what it feels to be in your early 20s. You want to present in a certain way. You want people to think, "Oh my gosh, this guy is whatever." You want to invite your girlfriend to come over, and yeah, I live alone. Yeah, I got this house. I just like to live by myself. It's so nice. Oh my gosh, this is so great. And telling them you have roommates doesn't sound as sexy, but who cares, man? Your financial freedom is more important than a little woman that you're gonna get. Okay, listen, be great. David Pena here to help you achieve financial freedom, achieve your goals, and be fantastic. Be great.